Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadasiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sakana Bhavatu Sakana Upanattu Sakaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadidamastuma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sat Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvaraya Murtave Brahma Vidyacharya Naciketas Cha. Very good morning to everyone. So we are in the 59th session of Kathopanishad. So by God's grace, hopefully, we've been to the conclusion today for the beginning of learning the Kathopanishad, because it is an ocean, and what we were able to do is to contemplate with the help of various Mahatmas, Bhashyas, particularly Bhashyakara's Bhashya. So this is a very special Upanishad because, as you know, this starts with a legend or a story in which a young boy goes on to meet someone we never want to meet in life. Is it not? He meets the Lord of Death. So he faces death willingly, which we all shy away from because we are shrouded with fear, ignorance, adhyasam, ajnanam, of what? Of not knowing who we really are. If we do not know the eternal status of our stature, our true self, we fear. So what did Yamadharmaraja do? He saw this young boy uninvitingly coming into his premises. So he was afraid to face him. The role changed. Naciketas was facing death, and death was afraid to face Naciketas because it is not his due to come. Dharmaraja he will not interfere even in a nanosecond if he has no place to go. But then Naciketas asked the question for which Yamadharmaraja was extremely pleased, extremely worried, extremely hesitant to answer, because the answer he is going to give eventually would make the role of death irrelevant to Naciketas, irrelevant to anybody. Why? Because Naciketas asked, what happens to anyone after the death? Nothing happens to you if you know who you really are, but everything else go through a transient phase. So if you learn this truth and come to the conclusion that you are the Sat, Chit, Ananda Swarupam, then you are Amrit. You have no death. There is no role to play for Yamadharmaraja. So it is nullifying his voracious role by giving the answer, but it is the truth that he has to give. So Yamadharmaraja becomes the Guru. Who else can teach us about death other than Lord of Death himself? So we see him not with fear, but with reverence. He is the venerable teacher, Acharya, who is revealing his role as someone who transforms you from one role to the other, one body to other, one mind to other, one world to other. Why? Because that is the cycle of karmas that you entangled with, and he helps you to transit the road. So the God of death is no more a cruel person to take away your life. He elevates you to get on with the next role so that eventually you are done with this and you can attain moksha. So with that compassionate look that he put on Raja, we listened to him through Naciketas. And then we gone through the first chapter of 3 Vallis. The second chapter of first 2 Vallis we gone through. Progressively, he moved from the Puranic context to the spiritual context of Vedanta, the truth. And what did he teach? He teach Atma is Anupudi Phalam. It is something which you cannot explain, learn from a book, even not from the teacher. The teacher teaches you to remove the darkness. His knowledge is used to cut asunder the screen of delusion, because the truth is self-revealing. You don't need a light to see the sun. The sun itself is an effulgence of it. But we need to open the eye, right? The eyes are closed because the eyelids are covering the light of it. So I have to put a prayatnam to open my eye. So the Guru opens your eye so that the ignorance goes away. So all the knowledge, all the Shastra Jnanam, all the Guru Upasana, all the lectures you hear, all the mananam you do, what does it do? They all do to open the eye. They remove, they cut asunder the screen. So this is a process. So you take the Guru's teaching, you have to put a prayatna. See, it doesn't matter if a worm is starving for food, the nature will feed it. If a tiger is hungry, the nature will throw a deer in front of it. Everything will be taken care of by itself. But for the human beings, because we have the mind, and because of that we have a will, and because of that we have an ahambhavam, that I do it, God takes a back seat and say, go and do it. Play your game. Right? So that's the reason why when the ahambhava comes in, you accumulate things and you move. So he says everything you do prayatna. So moksha sadhanam is therefore needed. For the liberation, I need the prayatna. So these sadhanas, Raja explained in the second chapter and the beginning of the third chapter. So if you just recap just the last few classes of the third chapter itself, in the first 5 mantras, the Guru gave him Brahmasvarupam, Atmasvarupam. What is the Atma? It's just words, just to put you context. And then he mentioned about the rarity of human birth. Narajanmam Durlabha. Because if you miss this very opportunity of listening to these kind of discourses that opens your eye, if you miss it, who knows when we'll get another chance? What Janma we will get next time? What guarantee we'll born as a Bharati? What guarantee we'll have a satsangam like this? It is rare. You know, when things not possessed are the best, and possessed like the rest, we don't really appreciate when you have something in your hand. Same way, because there's so much of Shastra Jnanam we have, you don't appreciate it. So so he emphasized why this birth is very important, and you should do the effort to understand it. Then he gave in the 6th, 7th, 8th mantra, I would say, a method. Now you are an elevated disciple, right? Now you're not going to the basics of Chitta Shuddhi. He is now coming to the level where you started doing contemplation. He said, Panchakosha Vivekam. He says, look, you want to look for the Atma that is in you, you do discriminative knowledge, intellectual scrutiny, paguttariva, dissect everything. And how do they do that? So he says, okay, I give you 5 steps. Panchakosha. The Annamaya Kosha. Is the body, is it my body like this? No. This body is changing because the photo of my 5-year-old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old, all different. So Annamaya Kosham, I am not, I can very easily discriminate. Pranamaya Kosham. There's something prana that goes up and down. I get animated. Is that prana me? Is it Atma? I don't think so. So you start realizing that it is a life energy. It's like it's a fuel to the car that moves. The fuel itself is not the soul of it. It is an ingredient to that. So I am not the pranamaya kosha. Or is it the mind that thinks? That cannot be, because the mind sometimes doesn't think. When I go to sleep, I don't think. Don't I exist? So manonasham does not mean I don't exist. So mind is therefore an instrument, finest it may be. So I am not the mind. Manomaya question, I am not. Or is it the buddhi? Buddhi is the discriminating faculty, the finest form of the mind. Am I the buddhi? Well, I am very close to that, but I know I'm not the buddhi because I know that I know and I don't know. I know my ignorance and my knowledge. That means there's something, a conscious feeling inside me which comprehend what I know, what I don't know. The basic instinctive awareness is something different from the buddhi. So I'm not the buddhi. Or is it this a bliss where I don't think, like when I sleep, deep sleep? It is that? Well, if it is that, then I should know that I am enjoying it. In the deep sleep, of course I'm enjoying it, but I do not know I enjoy it. It becomes a thought to me after that. And anubhavam, experience, is the thought. It's not anubhuti. So I do not know I'm sleeping. So this so-called anandamaya kosham, a latent part in me which is always blissful, is not me. There's something transcending that. So this is called the Panchakosha Vivekam. So he alluded to that in the 6th, 7th, and 8th mantras. And then when you come to the buddhi, then he said, okay, now when you discriminate this, now you see you have to have your mind and your intellect as an instrument. You can do all this puja, punaskaras, and karma-upasana, all that you do, they're all just taking the first few steps like a kindergarten. You just walk through them. So once you are able to focus on something, once you're able to listen carefully, once you're able to just forget about your worries and your notional identity and listen to things, Shravana, then the Guru says, hold on to it. Shravana, Manana, and Vidyasanam. Shravana means active listening. Manana means thinking about what you learned and matching against the experience and finding differences, going back to the Guru. do the Shravanam, come back, do Mananam, contemplate, go back to the Guru. So this is a cyclic process of listening and contemplating, clarifying. And every time you do that with the Shraddha, what is the Shraddha? Shraddha is, if I don't understand something, it is not the way the Vakyas are wrong or Guru's teaching is wrong. My capacity to comprehend is inadequate. So what do? Try. So it opens up. So when you do this Shravana Mananam cycle, now right now what you're doing is Shravana Mananam. So when you come back with a question to ask me or ask your teacher, you have done a Mananam for it. If you don't do Mananam, that's not good. Just Shravanam alone is not good. Shravanam can only give you Chitta Shuddhi. Just to make you follow, Puranas gives a story, Ajamila, that he just called his son, oh Narayana, he got moksha. Is that so easy to do that? But it is to giving you the chocolate. At least say that. At least believe in it and say it. But what happens when you keep saying it, the mind becomes pure. The pure mind reflects the truth, and then you will turn into Vedanta Vicharan. No matter what path you take, whatever good things you do, whatever motive that you may have, but when you are pursuing it with interest, Lokasheva, a puja, a karma, anushtanam, or even helping poor people, whatever you do with a great intent of doing it, your mind becomes pure. Without you knowing it, you will start listening to Vedanta. You will come back to this town. The very reason that we are able to spend time, because if not this Janma, maybe in a previous Janma, we have done some karmas like that. Our hearts are pure in certain extent. Now we do this. So Bhagavan said, do the Mananam. So once you finish the Mananam, at some stage, you have no more doubts. Not that you know everything, because you have no more uncomfortable feeling in your mind to commit yourself to the total surrender. You have no more questions, because you just said, I got it, Guruji, I just got it. I just have to soak myself into it. The Guru can only bless you and leave you alone, because he has taken you to the Garbhagriha. It is now the Kripa in you. He said, Ishvara Kripa, that Ishvara is Atma, but the Kripa in you, the Kripa Kadaksham that is coming within you, have to blossom to give the Anubhuti. Therefore, you wait. And the posture of waiting is called Nididhyasana. So it has got, Nididhyasana is not closing the eyes and doing the dhyanam. That is the start part of it. You do that. And you fight. People say when I do dhyanam, so many things come into my mind. I can't contemplate. I cannot focus. No, you can't. You have to have the different things coming. That is dhyana. Don't underestimate your capacity to do that. Whenever you sit in dhyana, you cannot focus on one thing all the time. If you focus on one thing all the time, you are in samadhi. The monkeys will come, and you have to see them as monkeys and disown them. Don't control them. You cannot control them. Controlling means taking ownership, taking abhimanam. I can control. You cannot control. But what you can do, the eternal duty of you is a sakshi. You observe. That's one Ramana's Mahamantram. Observe, attention, attention, attention. Just attend to it. Just look at it. When you look at it, they will stop the dance and they will go subside. So you don't need to. So he, in the 10th and 11th mantra, he did Vidyasanam. So what we have to learn from this is when we do the japa, when we do the Vidyasanam, initially we do prayatana. That means we put an effort. Today, 10 to 10:30, I'm going to sit down in my room, close my eyes. I just have to think through whatever I learned, touch it. I'm just going to be there, unmoving if possible. So if you start developing it, is the prayatnam becomes a subhavam. When it becomes a subhavam, you are sthita prajna without you knowing it. Arjuna asked the question, and Bhagavan, in his usual cheeky ways, gives a lot of answers, a lot of way in Gita. But what it means is that what eternally in Nididhyasana is that you are the seeing witness, you are the Atma in everything. You have no questions, no eager, no desire. Can it be like that? I'm not getting it. There comes the Shraddha. So in the 12th and 13th mantra, Bhagavan said, well, you learned all this thing, but to be in that position, you are lacking some motivation. It is lack of Shraddha. Shraddha is Shraddha Bhakti, normally say, no, Shraddha Bhakti. So you can, there are very loaded words, but you can just take it like this. Bhakti is a venerable attention to things that you do, a divine attention to things you do. Shraddha is unassailable commitment to what you do. See, they have to go together. I have a lot of bhakti in Swami. I sing a song, but I don't do the garland properly. I don't do prasadam properly. I said, oh, I'm doing prasadam, but I was thinking God, I forgot to cook properly. Those excuses are not good for us. But jnanis may say, when you do bhakti, you must do shraddha. That means I have to do this. I will do. I have to get up, do Sandhya Vandanam. I have to do the lamp. I need to light it up. I had to clean up this Swami room. All this Shraddha. So the Shraddha in the Vedanta, Shraddha Bhakti Vedanta, is to believe something which is not seen by your eyes. This we discussed. Paroksha to Aparoksha. So, what do I have to have Shraddha? You have to believe there is Vinayaka, Narasimha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, heaven, hell. Do I have to remember all this? Believe in all this? Yeah, I can believe in it, but that is not important. We transcend all that. So what do you have to Shraddha on? We only have to compete against one set of people who we call Nastikas. Nastikas are those, I explained in the last class, naysayers to existence. For them, everything is shunyam. Nothing is there. Everything is imaginary. We say, no. Everything is imaginary for the real one. So the one that you see, everything imaginary, is eternally real. Asti, Sat, exists. That Sat is Asti. Therefore, to convince you, you just have to say, do I exist? If any of you say, I don't exist, then you beat me. But if you say, yeah, Raja, yes, I agree, I exist, that means you are having an astitva buddhi. So therefore, then we can remember the mananam, the gold in the necklace, the gold in the bangle, the gold in the ring. Ring is asti. Ring is, gold is. Necklace is, gold is. Bangle is, gold is. Raja is, Atma is. Balaji is, Atma is. Ishvara has, Atma is. See, you go to the tattvam of what it contains. Atma tattvam or a Brahmatma tattvam is what is real, what is eternal. Therefore, the asti I had Shraddha on becomes asmi. Shraddhavan lapate jnanam. This is what the Shraddha gives you. I just started believing there exists God. That is my belief. Then I do all the Vedanta Vicharam, contemplation, Nididhyasanam. I come to the point, Brahmasmi. In Sanskrit, Asmi means I am. Atmasmi. I am the Atma. So there is nothing else to learn. This is what you have to learn. This is what he told. So Nididhyasanam is the finale of Prayatna. There's no point in learning, writing a book on Upanishad, giving lectures to a lot of people, talking about this in a thesis, argue with everybody else, and establish a position of supreme knowledge of Shastra, but you don't do Nididhyasana. That means you are a cookbook, unable to cook, unable to eat. So you don't enjoy. So Nididhyasana is important. So this he finished in the, I think we saw until this mantra. Yeah, 14th and 15th we saw. In the 15th mantra itself is Bhagavan has come to the conclusion. In the 14th mantra, he said, Yata sarve pramuchyante kamayasya hridishruda adamartyo amrdo bhavatya brahma samastute. In the 14th and 15th, he is giving the palan. We saw in the last class. If you do all this Nididhyasanam, your prayojanam will be, all your desires will be fulfilled. That means you will not have any more desires. That means Kama-daganam happens. Kama-daganam means there's nothing to ask for, nothing you wish. Not because you were incapable of desiring it, because you are fulfilled. We discussed this. That means if you are fulfilled, why am I teaching? Why am I writing? Why Shankara writes books? So there, the desire to write, the desire to read is not because of some unfulfilled desires in the mind of Shankara or any such acharyas. It is coming from the fulfilled heart. I mean, it's a Bhagavad Kripa. See, everybody will get jnanam and padapat, they go away. The rest of the world will be in dark. So when you become a Brahmajnani, Atmajnani, Siddha Prajna, you will also have desires coming to you, but the desires will not be binding you. It's not an asha pasha. For us, if I have to have coffee, the coffee I don't have it, I get a headache. That means the coffee is binding me. So if I get state of Siddha Prajna, I may also drink coffee if you give me. If you don't give me, I don't drink. If it doesn't exist, I don't suffer. So you cannot tell that person that, oh, you're drinking coffee, that means you like coffee. Like me, you have desires. No. You understand? This is very, sometimes we have to have the practical doubts like this to clarify. So this is what we saw in the 14th and in the 15th mantra. I can remove the desires, but it is very difficult. It comes naturally. Then we said, look, the kamam of the desire, you know what is kamam? Kamam is not just a physical sexual relationship. That is one side of kamam. Kamam is anything that you desire which you do not need for survival. Artha is different from kamam. I'm hungry, please give me food. You give me a bread. I eat the bread, my hunger is gone. You give me the second bread and say, yeah, why you give me empty bread? Can you put some butter on it, please? Or jam. It doesn't taste good. Now it's common. See? So the more we add to things to make it taste, should I not do it? Yeah, do it. Go ahead and do it. But know that there's a limit to it. But this karma, why the karma comes? Because there is an adhyasa. Adhyasa means you believe I must have it. You believe this is mine. You believe that I must get happiness. So you create a super positioning on it. Something which is not, you make it that. I must build 10 houses before I die. Why? Because I have to own them all. But can you really own them? Because it will be gone. It is still there. But I like to have that. So this kind of a attachment comes from the adhyasam. But the adhyasam is not knowing the truth, what is eternal. That comes from the ajnana. So you can see three things. Karma. The karma comes because of some attachment to things. Adhyasam. Adhyasam because I don't have the true jnanam. So ajnana. Or memory the jnana. So if there's no point in therefore just say remove the desires. I can't do because I need to go to the root of it. Adhyasa. Hey, forget it. Or this, whether it's a new shirt or old shirt, doesn't matter. I just had to calm my body, it doesn't stand. You know. This kind of thinking has to come. So in this mantra, we saw in the last class, he gives certain position for it. Okay. You do, it's a milestone, yeah. Brahma Granthi, it's not in your psychic analysis, psychic mind, that you want physical things. Karma. So you remove the karma. Then you go to the Vishnu Granthi. It is mind. So karma means physical and sensual pleasures. Then mind is the Radha-dvesha, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mahamachya. This is in the not called Vishnu Granthi. It's in the heart. So unknot it. That means you analyze it and remove it. Remove the knot. That means if I am a conjuice, I am a miserable person. I don't donate to anybody else. I know that I am a miser, and I want to become not a miser anymore. What do? Yoga says, Patanjali says, okay, imagine that you are a giver. Just practice giver. You are giving money, giving that, giving this. You keep on thinking about it, it will become a nature. Like this, when you're an angry man and you want to control the anger, you think of compassion. Meditate compassion. So this is how you remove the krantis. So, okay, Upanishad just gives you the headlines, and we have a lot of shastras, gurus, teachers, you have to do it. So Vishnu Kranti. Then the intellectual delusion we have, moha, that is from the Rudra Granthi. So Rudra Granthi you have to remove. That means you do Atma Vicharam, Shravana Mananam. So that knot is removed. When all these knots are removed, you exist as a human being, you do whatever you need to do, but you are not attached to anything. You become a mukta. So this is what the 15th. And he said, Adamartyo Amrto Bhavatye, the Martyo, the man who dies becomes immortal. Edavat, he, Anusasanam, whatever I told you this is the final. So that's how he finishes the last mantra. We saw in the last class. So now, then why is he further talking? Well, he gives you 2 more mantras, 3 more mantras. 2 mantras he gives, 16, 17. And 18, the Upanishad speaks again. Let's see what he says here. Shadam Chaikasha Krudesya Natya Dasa Murthanabibi Sudaika Tayortamayan Amritatvameti Vishwang Nyanya Utkramanani Bodhi. utkamane bhakti. Let me read again. Shradam chaika cha hridayasya Shradam cha ekacha. The first phrase is Shradam cha ekacha. Shradam means 100. Eka means 1. So he's giving you arithmetic class. 100 plus 1. Shradam cha ekacha. What is that 101? Hridayasya natya. In the Hridayam, there are 101 nadis. Nadis are energy centers, energy flow channels. So you have to bring your imagination now, okay? Don't go and look for anatomy and dissect and look at the nerve system. This is all very sukshma. This is all very, you have to think about it, imagine it. So there are 101, there are billions of nadis. He picks 101 in the Hridaya. Tasam Murdhanam Abhinihi Sukaika. In the 101, Tasam, in those things, Murdhana. Murdhana means, Murdha means the top of your head. Murdhana Abhinihi Sukaika. There's something which is going through this one. What is it called? A particular nadi is called Sushumna nadi. Sushumna. Sushumna na means Hridaya, mind. Sushumna means from the mind, the most beautiful one. So the imagination should be, you can say, from the tantric thing, they say from the Mooladharam, it goes in nadi, goes in the spinal cord, and then all the snakes and all that. I will not go into that. Come through. Or from the heart, there are nadis. So there is an energy channel that goes through like this and go to the head here. Tayortumayan amrita taya through the tray. Urdhvam ayan. You split like this. Urdhvam ayan. Urdhva means going up. Ayan means one who goes. So that means he is giving you, when you leave this body, if the prana, life forces, goes through this Sushumna nadi and it goes to the top of your head, what happened to him? Amritattvam yedi. We become immortal. Okay? So I learned, therefore, when I die, I go somewhere. The way to exit from the body is from the top of my head. And if I go by that route, I become immortal. Oh, it's so easy. So why I had to learn Vedanta? Why I had to have Jnanam? I just have to focus on sending my prana to that part. There are people who thought like this. Yoga, Tantric Shastram, some of the Patanjali Yoga's derivatives like this. They work on this Kundalini Shakti, they want to bring it up, and then they do these things. And then they see that you go through, and sometimes people say, when somebody is dead, they go and see there is a hole there. Right? And I don't know that in India, if you've seen stories where some sadhu died like that, and the Shishya's thing is gone, called Kapala Moksha, is gone through that. And they have to show that there is a hole there, right? And they break coconuts on the dead body's head. Many coconuts, they break it. Coconut breaks and the head breaks, and they show that here. What childish? Because if it is so subtle, it doesn't need to make a hole to go. It can go anyway. So you cannot take literal meaning for it. And I'm not criticizing the other people do, and if they do that way and they expect something, they will find. Because end of the day, this is the key point to understand. If you believe strongly on something and that's what want to happen for you, that's what will happen for you. But that is all Maya. But here we're talking about truth, absolute truth. So here, why is Yamadhamada saying this? He finished there That is Anusasana. Why is this talking about it? Because if you remember, Naciketas is asking the question to Yamadharmaraja after the incident of his father's Karma-Upasana. He was doing Yagyam, Dhanam, Tapam, Yogam, all that he is doing. To do what? To attain the moksha. And that is where I think the whole thing started. So he has to somehow connect it back. But that Vidya also, Agni Vidya, Naciketas Agni, Yamadharmaraja taught to Naciketas. So therefore it is not true, but it is a long route to go. It is not easy. For us even to breathe, normally is difficult. And you have to do all this kind of techniques and bring this thing, Sushma, Narira, Pingala, respiration changes. One life is gone. And you go unfulfilled. Maybe you come back. Someday you will go through. But even if you go through, what is the time? If you not attain the jnanam that you are an Atma, you may go up, maybe become a Deva, maybe become a Muni, become a Narada. I don't know. But that is not Mukti. So for us, it is a knowledge, we don't need to practice it. Then the last line says, Vishwam Anya Utkarne Bhavanti. So if the nadi is not going that way, it may go through the nose, eyes, your rectum, your leg, your wherever Grandhi goes through that. No, Bhagavan, Gita doesn't talk about all this Kundalini, all that stuff, but he does mention about, like, in the 8th chapter, Sarvadvarani Sanamya Manohriti Nrityacha Murdni Adhyaya Atmanaha Pranam Mastido Yogadam. Pranam Mastido Yogadam. Murdi. So by focusing your prana and then ensuring that the final breath is going up in your head, you attain the Atma. So he just gives you one thing, but he does not elaborate with Arjuna, because Arjuna doesn't need to do those things. He has to do his Karma Yoga like that. So here in this mantra, Yamadharmaraja says there are 101 nadis. There is one particular one which is called Sushumna Nadi, and through that, if the prana leaves, you attain a Krama Mukti. What happened? What is Krama Mukti means? I not learned Vedanta. I didn't do anything. I just take a yoga margam. I sat with the Guru, spent my 40 years of my life in sitting in the caves. I can do breathing exercise. Now I think I attained the Siddhi. I can walk on the water. I can materialize things. And they die, and my Shishya made sure that I died through my head to break the coconuts and all that. So I attained the Karma Mukti. What happens to me? If I had done all these good things, I may go to Brahma Lokam. I surpass all these heavens, Indralokam, everything. I go straight to Brahma Lokam. Who is in the Brahma Lokam? Brahma. Who is Brahma? The creator of everything. What is the point of going there? Because that is the place where you can get the final teaching. All the teachers are disciples of Guru Brahma. What does the Brahma teaches? He teaches what he has learned. What he has learned when he was born from Bhagavan's, Paramatma's Nadi Kamalam, he doesn't know who he is, like you and I. He cried, Kaha, 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 who am I, who am I, who am I? Bhagavan took compassion and said, you are none other than Atma. You do the Shrishti. That is your job. Do. Therefore, he has become a learned guru, a Siddha Prajna, Brahma sitting there and creating world. Does all this without attachment. So if you go straight to him, he will say, okay, good. You've done all the yogas, all these things. Well done, you come there. Have you done Tattvabodha? No. Okay, sit on the last bench. Then he will start teaching. So what we have to learn here, if you've not learned it, you're going to learn the same thing from there. And if you learn that, because maybe from Brahma himself, you may learn better. Then you attain the jnanam. Then you attain the mukti. So the Karma Bhukti is a graduated process. It's not liberation. That's the reason why, just side note, that's the reason why there's no temple for Brahma. Brahma, we don't worship like that. Because Brahma is, as we create our own world. We create a world, oh, that person is good, this person is bad. We create perceptions and we live in that world like a Brahma. But Brahma was good because he asked, who am I? So it's called Kasya. Brahma's name is Kasya. Virinchi Kasya. So he is like you and I. He was the first Pragma Purusha. Okay. So this is what this mantra. Then next mantra. In the next mantra, again, he is giving you one more mantra on the Upasana. Well, I still need to have a hold on to something. Okay. Angushta matra purusho andaratma sada jananam kritaye samnivishta tam swach sharirat pravruhena munjadiveshikam taidyena tam vidyat shukram amurdam tam vidyat shukram amurdam iti. This is the last words of Damodar Maharaj. He stopped talking after this. What does it say? Angushta matra hai, purusha hai, andaratma. Okay, if you want upasana, you want to go through the path to come to this Karma-Mukti, understand like a thumb, that space, the empty cavity in your heart is your Atma. Don't bisect your heart and see it, because the Hridayam is again a virtual position. So it is your inner consciousness. See, all this is for just to make you realize Vedanta truth. So think of that size of it. Okay, where is he? Is he only in mind because I am a very good disciple to you? No. Sadha jananam hridaye samnivishtaha. It's always in all people's, all beings' heart, it is there. So it is now giving you the same truth in a figurative way. That means inside everybody's heart, thumbs like, white thumb like this. Okay, the ant's thumb will be small and elephant thumb will be bigger. So there may be different sizes of Atma. So there are some religious schools think like that, literally. And they so a big Atma, small Atma. No. It's just imagination. The innermost consciousness is Atma. That is Andaratma. Why is Andaratma? That means there's a Bahu Atma. Yes, because we believe the body is the Atma. Just to differentiate, if you say body is an Atma, if you're used to that phrase, then I will use another phrase. I use Andaratma. If I don't say body is Atma, I don't have Andaratma. I just Atma. So don't get convoluted by these terminologies. Andaratma exists because I believe Atma is outside, Atma is many. But if Atma is one, it is Andaratma, doesn't make sense, it's just Atma. Anyway, so it is always there. So what do I do? Now, I told you this now, you do this. Tam swat sharirat brabruhena. Tam, that means that Atma, that I told you that is inside you, what do? Swat sharirat, from your body. Because you are thinking your body is you. from your body, pravruhena. Pravruhena means you separate it. How do I separate it? I'll give you a beautiful example. Munjat ishikam dhairyena. Munjat is a very special grass like darba, very sharp grass it is. The grass inside the little stem, white stem, when you take it and you eat, it will give you very sweet taste. So if you want to remove that beautiful stem from the inside this grass, you have to be extremely careful because it will just cut your thing. That's why now in the convention they say when you go to the guru, the Shishya goes with the darba glass in his hands to go to the guru. Why? What's the point of darba glass? Has it got any value to the guru? No. Because when you go on, darba glass is munjat. When you pick up this grass, if you're not careful, you get scars in your fingers. So the teacher will know when you go there, you look at your finger and say, are you a sensible person? Are you focused in your job? Do you think carefully or not? Depending on that, he will seat you in the class and then he train you. So here it says, Munjat Ishikaram Dharyan. Like you separate carefully stem from the sharp grass, you separate your Atma. What is how does the example fits? Because when you are doing the contemplation, somebody scolded me or somebody told me I am dark in color. I am not I don't look handsome. Now it hurts me, right? Because it hurts me because I think this nature of the body, the form, we think it's Atma, it's me. Atma means self. No, it's not me. Then I do this separation. This body is not me. I am inside. This body is my possession of it. It may be good, bad, and better, doesn't matter. When I do this, somebody says, Raja, then I give up this contemplation. I go there. Because they call me Raja not because of a mind, they see my body and call it. So I have an attachment to this body. I identify that. I stop my contemplation. So this is kind of a fall that you have, scar that you get. I'm not saying you should not answer him, you must answer him, but you must know that you are in the contemplation. So to do that, what is it, Atma? Now you take tam vidyat shukram amritam. That Atma, you must know shukram. Shukram means pure, unblemished. You can say white, but white means it's pure, absolute purity. It is absolutely pure. Absolutely pure means what? Sangatvam. That's why it's God you cannot see, because if God is in any form, it is Ashuddham. Hey, how can you say Ashuddham? I do all the Alankaram to Swami. Well, Ashuddham here means it is not Paripurnatvam, Apurnam. Why you say Apurnam? I see the Swami Purnam. Yeah, but Swami is here. Here there is no Swami. The Swami is finished. The dimension is finished. Well, that's just a bhavana. Exactly. So Paripurnatvam is only in Nirgunatvam, Nirakaram. That's why Paripurnatvam you cannot visualize it, you cannot experience it, but you are Paripurnatvam. So it's okay to take Apurnatvam as God, worship it, because we are able to Munjat Ishikam Dharye. You know how to separate truth from the. This is what the meaning is. Then you repeat. Tam vidyat shukram amritam iti. That iti is important word. Iti means it is, Upanishad says, thus finished Yamadharmaraj. And he repeats twice. This is the convention. Second time when you repeat it, that means I have done. I made mistake. So the import of this mantra is, having known your purity is your true nature, you have to identify the purity as I. The true I that Bhagavan Ramana was asking you to find out is where this notional I goes and settles and disappears. In other words, these scar-giving, sharp tentacles of the grass is removed, the juicy, luminous inner part gives you Sukham, Sukritam, Amritam. That means you are self-fulfilled. You are completely without desires. Then you do anything, nothing binds you. You kill somebody, no sin comes to you because you are now completely paribodh. Killing should have a reason for it. You would have done it for it. So this is how Upanishad finishes. But then there is one more mantra. This is Upanishad Vakyam. See, so far Yamadharmara's Vakyam, Upanishad started with the Upanishad Vakyam. Upanishad introduced Yamadharma, Naciketas, and then all the dialogue happened between them and come back to the Upanishad. He concludes. Mrityu proktam Naciketavto laptava vidyametam yokivitimcha tritsanam brahma prapto virajo abhut vimritya anyo abhyevam yo vidat yatmaveva vidat adhyatmaya. Okay, let's unwind this. Mrityu proktam. Mrityu proktam. Prokta means whatever has been told. By who? By the Mrityu. Whatever was told by the Lord of Death. Edham, you take it from the second line, Vidya Medam. Edam Vidyam. That Vidyam, that Atma Jnanam, plus Yoga Vitim. Then Yoga Upasana Jnanam. Because you see, this is how you should write a thesis. And conclude, you say what you said. Yamadharmaraja gave him the Atma Jnanam. He also gave the Upasana Margam, yoga. So he says, having learned both Atma Jnanam and Yoga with him, how did he learn this? Kritsanam. Kritsanam means absolutely, completely, beautifully, clearly. Who learned it? Naciketas. Naciketas, Adhyaya, Lapva. Lapva means gained. So Naciketas, having gained the knowledge of Atma Jnanam and the Upasana Marga from the Lord of Death, Yamadharmaraja, what happened to him? Third line, Brahma Praptaha. He became the Brahman. He became the Ishvaraha. He became the Muktaha. Virajaha. Virajaha means absolutely pure. Vimrutyaha. Vimrutyaha means Mrityu is not there anymore. He is immortal. So he became that. So Naciketas' life is now ended in this world. As embodied life becomes one with the Atma. Right. Naciketas can do that. He's a God's child and he's a bright, brilliant. Who am I? What is the point of me listening to all this? It will only get aggravation. No. He says next line. Anyaha api adhyatmam eva vidat. No matter anyaha, no matter whoever it is, that is you and I, anybody, if you can realize adhyatmam eva vidat. Adhyatma means That is, my innermost Atma is that is what is being told. If I know this one, what happened to him? It doesn't say. It asks you to fill it up. This is the way of saying it, You say the child, when you do the homework, I'll give the chocolate. And then he says, are you sure, Dad? And I say, if you do both homeworks, then I stop it. Child will say, you will give me chocolate. Because when you make the child say it, it reconfirms, right? Here it says, last line, if you know, whoever it is, if you know it's Adhyatma Eva, Upanishad stops. Means you will say, yes, I become the Brahman, I become the Atma. So this is how the Kathopanishad finishes. So it is very, very fortunate that we have this and we are able to learn. But more than telling you, I tell myself, so this is a learning process for me as well. So the Guru is therefore Dharmaraja. So I just wrote a small slogan. So if you are interested, you can say it together. I say that you can repeat it. This is the one, I'm Dharmaraja, so I put in English. So Pranamami Sadadam Mrityum Akashikachatmeva cha Shikshakkameva cha Yamam Vaivasvatam Devam
Vaivasvatam Devam
Dharmarajam Tamandagam
Dharmarajam Tamantakam
Audumbara Tanurdaram
Audumbara Dhanurdharam
Dandadaram Parampatim
Dandadaram Parampatim
Neelam Chitraguptam cha
Neelam Chitraguptam Cha
Vikrantam Satyabalagam
Vikrantam Satyapalakam
Paramisishidam Devam
Devam
Chakam Devam Sarvayagyam Tam Paraparam
Tam Paraparam
Vande Andakalamisham Tam
Vande Antakalamisham Tam
Guru Naciketam Namaha.
Naciketam Namaha.
The Pranamami I worship Sadadam always Mrityu, the god of death. So we don't actually worship god of death, right? But don't be afraid. This is the Guru. So death is not a mangalam anymore when you talk about this, because it is how we find ourselves. That's what is important. Mahashikshakam evacha. He is a great teacher. He is Yama. He is Vaivasvata. He is a Deva. He is Dharmaraja. He is Tamandagam. He is the one who brings the end to this samsara. Audumbara Dhanurudharam. He has got a Dhanur's called Audumbara. His bow. He is holding it. Dandadaram. So he also have a stick. Param Pati. He is the supreme Maharudra himself. He is Neelam. Is blue in color. Chitraguptam cha. Chitragupta is that. So Chitra, again, if you go with deeper contemplation, Chitra means picture, Gupta means secret. Chitragupta is a secret picture. Even if you do something wrong, you may not tell anybody, but you know it. It will never go your mind. The picture always there. If you do with a great intense any sin, it will be a film running on your heart all the time. That is Chitragupta. That's the reason why you do good things. So that Chitraguptam is also Yama. Vikrandam is the one who's full of power. Satyapalakam. He's the one protect the truth, because he is the truth. Smarami, I worship. Shikshakam Devam. Shikshaka means who gives the shiksha, who gives the teaching. He's a guru. is Deva. Sarvajnam Tam Parapara, who is the all-knowing Supreme Lord. Vande Antakalamisham. Antakalamisham. So who is the eternal thing, eternal end? I pray to him. Who is he? Nachiketam Guru. He is Nachiketas Guru. Naciketas also a Guru for us. So anyway, I think maybe some mistakes there, you'll correct it, but I thought I will make this offer to him. So it's a convention that when you finish Kathopanishad, you read the first mantra of the Upanishad again. Let's say this. Om
Om
Vai Vajasravasah
Shanhave Vajasvasaha
Sarva Veda Samtaho
Sarvaveda Sampradaho
Tasya Nachiketa Nama
Tasyaha Nachiketa Name
Nama
Asa
Putra
Om Namada Purnamitam
Om
Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnamuchyate
Purnat Purnamudachyate
Nasya
Purnamudachyate
Purnamadaya
Purnasya
Purnasya
Purnamadaya
Purnamadaya